What's up, y'all? This is Coach Raph. This is In Between the Yards, baby. Let's go. What's up, y'all? It's another one, Between the Yards with Coach Raph, and I got a special guest with me, Big Luke. Introduce yourself, brother.
What's up? I'm Luke Olson from Morgan High School.
Okay. What position you play?
I play left tackle.
So were you playing left tackle like pretty much your whole life, or were you like in different positions? Like,
that's kind of a good question. I definitely I never thought I'd be playing tackle because my whole life I really never played football. I was a soccer player, and I started playing football. I played it once when I was in 5th grade, but I was kind of like they called it a playbacker back where I played it in Maryland, but basically, I was over the weight, so I couldn't carry the ball, so they put me at D-line. I was kind of like a 10-play kid, so.
You played, how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
You 6'4", is it harder to play? Well, I mean, there's some pretty tall dudes that play soccer, but were you coordinated?
Yeah, so I actually was the goalie. So I was in the goal most of the time, getting all those saves.
All right, let's go. Go ahead and shout out whoever you want to shout out, man, your coaches, whoever.
I just want to shout out, there's too many, of course you gotta give thanks to the man above for all the blessings and opportunities he's given me. Got to give a big shout out to my parents, because they've really they've done everything they could. They gave me every chance that I needed to kind of get where I am now. And
absolutely.
They've always been a big. They've always pushed kind of the idea of do whatever you want to do, but if you're gonna do it, do it 100%. Don't have any letbacks. And I'll probably talk about kind of a little bit more about that mindset later. But they've always helped me so much and give me every opportunity. Then just the coaches at Morgan High School, they're awesome. Shout out to Coach Barlow, Coach Crosley, helping me out so much, and our strength coach, Coach Chisson, he helps us so much, prepares us, and all that good stuff. And a big shout out to Coach Nate up at Tip Top, helps me get right. Go see Tip Top if you want to get.
Shout out to Tip Top. That's what's up. Shout out to Tip Top. So you learned a lot of skill training at Tip Top, or?
Yeah, they really focus on you want to be quick. You want to have speed, because now the game of football, it's a lot more speed based than power and strength. That's just you're all bulk. So they're really good at getting you ready for footwork, and applying drills that'll help you on the football field and stuff like that.
Love it. No, absolutely, bro. Shout out to Tip Top. They have an Instagram?
Yeah, should just Tip Top or Tip Top Athlete, something like that.
Y'all go check it out. In fact, while we're at it, give them your Instagram.
Instagram is Luke Olson _8. No caps.
Let's go. No cap. Give
it a follow. Give it a follow.
Give it a follow. Holla at my boy. So I do a thing called 2 Truths and a Cap, and I have to figure out what the cap is. So shoot.
All right. So my 3 are: I'm a 2-time state champion. I lived in Russia, and last year I played wide receiver.
You lived in Russia?
No.
Oh, you lived in Russia?
Yeah.
Putin territory?
Yeah.
So what's the cap?
The cap was 2-time state champion.
Okay, gotcha. But you played wide receiver last year?
Yeah, okay. which is crazy. Right before our season started, I played wide receiver for my freshman year up until right before my junior year, and then they kind of just need more help on the O-line, so then I moved to O-line, which was a weird switch, because I love playing receiver. My favorite player is Terry McLaurin,
Okay, all right.
So I tried to play like him, but then moving to O-line, but, I really loved it, and it's brought me a lot of opportunities with it, which has been awesome.
They say, there is no game of football without the O-line, so that's love right there. When it comes to playing, right, as far as coaches, what do you like? What are, just name 3 things that you look for in a coach.
In a coach, I definitely want a coach that that's honest with you. That's want the best for you, and it's kind of hard to put this in one term, but I want a coach that he looks past football, and just a shout out to Coach Barlow, which is a really good example of this, but what he's done with us is he's done a really good job of, making us better men. And like kind of an acronym that he helped create was it was TRACS. Mm-hmm. And basically like each letter in TRACS represents different things. And I'll just go through it real quick, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
So the T stands for trust, and like having trust in your teammates on the field, it's super important. Mm-hmm. The second one is resolute. All right. And then the third one is accountability. So, like, you're not pointing fingers. You're not blaming others. Like, you're taking accountable. The C is confident and humility. So, you're still having that dog in you, but you're also, you're not too overconfident. Like, Yeah. And then the S is for selflessness, and which is, like, kind of been the pillar that I personally have tried to adopt the most because, like, for a lot of people, moving from receiver to O-line, like, you kind of have to give up, like, a lot of pride, like, you want the catches, the touchdowns, and the stats.
The glory, I get it. Yeah,
but, it's been awesome, and I really feel like Coach Barlow does a really good job of helping us become better men and also, doing a great job with the program. We win a lot of games and stuff like that. So
what did you guys go this year?
So we made it to the semifinals this year. Before that, we had made it to the state championship, I believe 5 years in a row, and we won it twice. Yeah, so there's a really good.
There we go.
There's a great culture up at Morgan. So
no, shout out to that coach, man. What's his name again?
Coach Barlow.
Coach Barlow. That's the type of coach that I applaud. Like, the thing is, my coach was when I played coach at Michigan. My coach was Lloyd Carr, and the defensive coordinator was Ron English. And one of the things is they always made sure that there was a humility aspect, and they made sure that was, you have the football player and you have the man, and that's the thing. Eventually, a lot of players, you go, you do your 4 years and then you're off into life. And so you take some of those things that you learned and you utilize those things, whether you have a family or business or whatever, so I think that's awesome. Shout out to him. As far as like we're like, when you were playing, cause you've been playing football pretty much your whole life, right? When did you start? When did you start playing football?
So actually, like, I've been a big basketball player all growing up. I never really played football. I started playing football really in high school is when I would say I started, but before that, just a soccer kid. I lived my dad was in the Air Force, so we were always moving, 2 years assignments everywhere. Yeah. So I never really was on a football team, but I did play soccer and football a lot, and like where I live mostly, like soccer was during the football season, so I kind of had to pick one or another.
Right.
And playing goalie, that's what I like to do then. But I've always been a big fan of football.
Okay, I love that,
big
bro.
Commanders fan, so shout out to the Commanders.
All right, the Washington Commanders. No, that's what's up. I'm a Lions fan, so we're finally good in the last
come up there.
30 years. Yeah. 30 years to be good, but it's all good. Better now than late. So or than never. But so I see you got the Idaho State. Did you commit to Idaho State?
Yes. So
shout out to Idaho State. Let's go.
Yeah, go Bengals, baby. Just signed December 20th. It's been awesome, actually. The recruiting process for that was actually pretty unique. Because,
really?
Yeah.
So, in fact, walk us through it, because I have a lot of kids that ask me questions about the recruiting process, and I tell them how it was 20 years ago or whatever. But please share your story.
Yeah. So, coming from Morgan, it's a 3A school. It's a little bit smaller, and it's kind of unfortunate because those smaller schools get overlooked. And
absolutely.
Personally, I kind of felt like I have the ability to play at the next level, but wasn't necessarily getting the looks. Mm-hmm. So what happened was, I just kept, staying good, like kept working out, all that good stuff. And Coach Nate really helped me at Tip Top, and he helped me kind of get exposure almost.
Okay.
He was like, hey, there's this dude here, and Idaho State reached out to me early December. So like before then, I had gotten an offer from SUU, so that was my first one, and then so I was like, oh, I'm pretty hyped, this is pretty cool, and then Coach Rush came to my high school, shout out to Coach Rush, a lot of shout outs today, but
let's go.
Yeah, and they, just from the get go, they've been super friendly, super charismatic, and that's definitely one word I would say to describe the coaching coaching staff up at Idaho State.
Yeah.
Very charismatic, especially Coach Hawken. You know, the whole staff, they really like embraced me. It really felt like home. And took my official visit up there. Absolutely loved Pocatello and all the stuff like that. So
yeah, the shout out.
And it was awesome, you know. But it's just crazy,
dude. I'm excited for you. Like it's awesome. Like because you get the excitement of like, you know what? Somebody actually is taking an interest in me, right? And it's kind of like makes you want to go harder, right? Like
yes, and like for sure,
yeah.
It also kind of gives you like motivation. Like, you know, I'm just trying to help other kids from small schools. Like, you can get recruited. You know, like
that's right.
It's possible. You just gotta, you know, find your way. You got to be on Twitter all the time. You know, like Twitter is a great resource to kind of help you and stuff like that, and you know, camps and stuff like that. But this is like to small school kids and to like big colleges. There's kids in small schools that can play, you know, and they just need the opportunity. So
no, it's true, man. I mean, look at Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice comes from a small school. I mean, there's a lot. Even Antonio Brown. I think he played at like Western Michigan. I mean, there's a lot of different, like, there's so much talent, you know. But I feel like a lot of kids, they lose confidence when they're not recruited, or if they go to a small school and they're like, oh man, like, I feel like no one wants me, but it's like, no, like there is a school for you. There is a fit. But most importantly, what were your grades like?
So that's actually another big thing that really helped me in recruiting, actually. So currently I have a 3.96 GPA.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
That's
so,
right.
you know, having a dad in the military, they've always instilled, like, classroom first, like.
Yeah.
And that's actually like been one of my biggest advantages to getting me recruited is having a great grade, because nowadays like a lot of smaller FCS schools, like what they do for scholarships is like they take your academic money and then they meet you with your the rest of it with like the football scholarship.
Right.
So like me having a good GPA, which means I'll get more academic money, which for me it costs less for a big school to have me on the team than opposed to a kid who doesn't have as much academic money.
Right.
So it already makes you look like a way more attractive recruit, like saying, okay, he's going to save us a lot more money and he can still play.
Right. Exactly.
So that's like been a big focus, you know, keeping the grades up.
For
because
sure, bro.
It's really helped me a lot, in all honesty.
Absolutely. And shout out, like, I know you shout out your mom and dad, but shout out to your mom and dad again. Like I said, man, a lot of athletes, you know, I love seeing kids with just good parents that are just like, hey, you know what? If you want to make it, well, here's the discipline, and this is the way to go. And I love that. And it seems like you were raised by some very awesome people. So shout out to your mom and your dad, bro. Yeah. You have any siblings or? Yeah,
so I actually am one of 6 kids in my family.
6? All right. Yeah, what number are you?
I'm the second oldest. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. I got an older sister that actually runs track at UVU, and yeah, so that's, you know, athletes in the family. Then I got 4 younger brothers that are all coming up. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I think your journey, you're gonna be all right. You sound like you're serious about it. You got a good mindset, parents support, and you know, I think it's awesome. I mean, if you were to tell the kids out there that look up to you, what would be some of the things you tell them?
I would definitely just say, like, kind of going back to whatever you want to do, like go all in for it, because all the time I hear kids kind of saying, you know, like, hey, I want to go play at the next level, but then I look at them and I know they're not putting in the work, you know, like, and to do it, you're going to have to do extra stuff. Like, that's just the bare minimum. Like, you're not going to get there by just, you know, going to your high school practices. Maybe you will, maybe you're good enough too, but like, if you're someone like me who wasn't gifted a 40-inch vertical leap, you know, could jump out the gym or something, like, I knew I was going to have to work. So I would just tell people, you know, just be happy with what you're doing, man. Just enjoy the process and grind, because I didn't start until my senior year. I was developed, you know, I never had really played.
Senior year, I cut you off. So you pretty much rode the bench until you were a senior.
I rode the bench.
And then this is the beauty of it. You go hard, you work hard those 3 years. Your senior year, you put in the work, and then this is the result.
Yeah.
Give me some, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Definition, bro. Like, it reminds me of like Cooper Kupp and what's Wes Walker and all the guys that get counted out, and then they get an opportunity and they just go crazy.
Exactly,
bro. That's dope. That's I love it because it is, man. There's so many different ways you can equate what you learn in football to, like life. Mm-hmm. And part of it is that, dude, I feel like your parents have kind of given you the cheat sheet to success along with your coaches and just being able to follow direction. Like, you know what? I'm going to listen. Dude, I mean, it's awesome. Which leads me to the next question. Who's your favorite football team? Is it really the Commanders?
Yeah,
it's okay. You don't have to.
I'm a 2-team guy, All right. I'm a diehard fan, and my favorite team is the Commanders. It may be controversial, but you're not gonna like the second one. I'm actually a big Ohio State fan. The Ohio State.
Jesus. Oh, that's my kryptonite. That's my kryptonite. You know what? I got to shout out to my camera guy. Shout out to my guy Hunter. Who's your favorite football team, Hunter? Yeah. So guys, so I just got to interrupt. Michigan, we beat Ohio State. We beat them this year. Oh, and we beat Bama. And then we're like, oh, we're going to see Washington. We're going to beat them too. But anyway, and so Commanders and Ohio State. Yeah, I've never liked Ohio State. I have friends that actually played Ohio State, and I even dated a girl a long time ago that was, from Ohio State. But that's a different story. That was way before I was.
That doesn't sound like a Michigan player to me.
Nope. Dated her after.
Oh, okay.
So, but no, man, that's awesome. I think that a lot of there's high school sports. I think are just amazing, but I think that just high school athletes, because you're showcasing skills and you're showing discipline and all these other different skills that you have prior to getting to college, right? And so the discipline that you learn and the discipline that you have where you take it from high school to college to pros, or because having a family is going pro to me, like, you know what I mean? And Absolutely. So it's a great, I just love development. That's the type of coach and mindset that I have. Shout out to Lone Peak. I just love development. I love to see the transition from freshman to senior, and then freshman to senior in college, or if you go pro, cool. But if not, I love to see guys that have just have 2 or 3 kids and they're married and they're working and you're like, hey, what's up, coach? That's the most beautiful thing. You can it's like you made it. Mm-hmm. Going pro doesn't mean you made it. You make it. It's a mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that's pretty cool. Dude, you're on it now. I did ask you high school and college, but who are your top 3 college choices? That's what I want to know.
Top 3 college choices. So one is probably got to be Ohio State.
No Ohio State University.
The Ohio State, actually. But I was actually born in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of like my ties there. And
so you go back.
No. My dad was in the military, so it's kind of just like he was there at the time, and I was there. So
yeah, for sure.
Number 1, Ohio State, probably. Number 2 is probably got to be Utah. I've loved Utah. They're a good program. And 3, geez, you're putting me on the spot here, kind of, because I'm usually just like like Ohio or die. But
gotcha.
Third school, I'd probably say USC or something. I was down there and stuff like that.
Who you think is going to win this coming up Monday, Michigan or Washington?
I just want to shout out UW. I hope you guys pull through.
This guy is killing me. He's killing me. Kryptonite hope. Jesus.
I can't root for Michigan. I can't.
Go Blue University. Michigan. People ask me what's so special about Michigan? And I tell them everything. Michigan's awesome. But if I had to compare Michigan as like a program, Michigan and Penn State and Notre Dame are like the same, and Wisconsin are almost like the same school, except Michigan's a lot better than all of those schools. But and there's some similarities with Ohio State. I like it when Ohio State's good, because they are a competition. I hate Ohio State. There is nothing. I didn't start wearing red until I moved to Utah because I like the Utes. But you're brought up to not like Ohio State. It's just a given. But I don't like it when they suck, because it doesn't mean. I mean, our game always means something. It's the game.
Yeah.
It's the biggest, you know. So it is what it is. But I just love sports, man. Like it doesn't matter. I love football, and I just love it. It's something about it that brings people together. It's kind of like food, just bring people together, good times. But I just want to say thank you, man, for coming, and shout out to Safe Streets. If you guys need any kind of home security, come holla at me. All right, safestreets.com. Go check it out. But I want to thank you, Luke, for coming, man. I love your enthusiasm, and like I said, man, I think you're going to do great things at Idaho State. So that's it. Yeah. Give me some, man.
Hey, right, I appreciate you having me out here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, give them your Instagram one more time.
Instagram is Luke Olson, LUKEOLSON _8. Go give it a follow.
That's right. And we're gonna keep checking up on Luke as he continues to progress through his career. This is Coach Raff, In Between the Yards.